quarter. As we'll see who's teeing up the football for the Panthers, Rob.
The kickoff be read.
Here, so we'll have Cedric Henderson at tailback as they will come up in the I formation. Wide receiver to the right. 1st and 10, 28, just underway. Quarterback spins, handoff right side. Good fake. Quarterback keeps the ball.
A fumble.
A fumble on the play, and Benton's come up with it at the 31-yard line. That ball was jarred loose, and it was Goheen that came up with it.
I think it was Brian Holter.
Was it Holter?
Yeah.
It was.
That was a reverse.
Greg Mundy calls the fumble.
A big hit by Mundy, and Holter was right there.
So the Panthers get the first break of the season. They'll have it 1st and 10 with the ball at the Malvern 31-yard line.
That was an inside reverse to big William Burks, and he got stuck.
Goheen will go wide to the left. The Panthers moving from left to right as you listen here in the first quarter. They're in the wishbone formation. Jamie Jones at left halfback. Rogers at right halfback. Spin by Collett. He heads off to Jones. Low running room right side inside the 30. Fights his way down to about the 27. Maybe got to the 26. As William Burks in on the tackle for the Leopards. The ball will be spotted just outside the 25-yard line, so it'll set up a second down at about 5. So a pickup of about 5 for Jamie on that play for the Panthers.
Now, Larry, we talked a lot about the run and shoot, but the Panthers will run this, their old wishbone as much as they run the run and shoot. They may not run much of the run and shoot at all. Coach Dwight was wavering before the game.
Wishbone on the second down play, 2nd and 5. Handoff to Jones once again. This time, nothing doing for Jamie as he tried to move in out inside his right guard, and the tackle was made by Eddie Ray Hines for the Malvern Leopards. So call it no gain on the play as he was stopped cold.
It's generally just going to be a situation thing, I think, just to get that out of the way and get the offenses set.
Running room will lead to the Panthers' left as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Goheen will come wide to the right, short side of the field. Collett has his offensive line set in the wishbone. Calls for it, spins, quick pass. Goheen makes a great jump catch at the 22-yard line, falls inside the 20 to about the 18. And again, it was William Burks that hit it, but a great catch by Jake Goheen on the play.
He's a very acrobatic receiver. He'll go up and in traffic. He's very tough in there, and that was a fine catch there.
It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers at the 18-yard line of the Leopards. Wide receiver coming to the right this time for the Panthers is Perry. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Here's Collett calling for the football. Spins, handoff. Jamie Jones has some running room right side. Bangs his way down to the 15-yard line. So Jamie has been the workhorse so far. Tackle made by William Burks once again. He's been the workhorse defensively for the Leopards. Ball will be spotted at the 15-yard line.
Malvern has some real horses on defense. Big guys. 6'4", 210 is William Burks, the linebacker. 6'7", 219, Eddie Ray Hines at one of the defensive ends, and big Isaac Davis in the middle is 6'3", 325. He's a load.
2nd down. Panthers need 7. Goheen wide right, short side of the field. Collett spins, wants to throw, looks for Goheen. Goheen has it at the 5. Touchdown, Goheen. A flag down on the play, and it should be interference and touchdown Benton.
That's what he catches the ball well in traffic. He was bumped there before the ball ever got to him about the 5-yard line. He stayed on target, caught it, and went right in. Didn't even break stride.
Had a man hanging all over him, as you said, and a great catch. It is a touchdown for the Benton Panthers, the first of the 1989 season, on a 15-yard pass from Brad Collett to Jake Goheen. It's 6-0. Touchdown coming with 9:21 left to play in the first quarter. With the extra point to come, Goheen will hold for Nix. As the Panthers score on their
That's their first
second
possession
pass of the season, right?
Yes,
first possession.
Right.
That's good news. So Heath Nix will be kicking out of the hold of Jake Goheen. 6-0 Benton Panthers. Opening game of the 1989 season. It is hot, but a good crowd on hand, Rob.
Coach White said that mistakes could make the difference.
And there's a mistake right there as the ball is put down, and the kick looked like maybe a bad snap, and Nix didn't get it away. 9:21 left to play in the first quarter with our score, Benton 6, Malvern 0. Panther football will continue in a moment. Let's do 30-second spots. Let's do 30-second spots. There's just not enough time. Okay, Teresa? Who's kicking?
It's Kaufman, Reed Kaufman.
Here's Kaufman's kick coming to Traylor. He picks it up inside his 5, cuts to the wide side of the field, the 10, the 15, has an opening at the 20, 30, 35-yard line. He is caught from behind, finally at the 45-yard line. A great return by Traylor, finally chased down from behind by Alan Bearden, and it looked like he might break that one.
It was a real open field. The ball dribbled a couple of times. He picked it up at about the 4 and reversed his field a little bit, and the Panther defense was really spread out and picked up a big yardage.
So it gives the Leopards excellent field position. They'll take it 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. As coming to the wide side of the field is Cedric Henderson. I formation behind the quarterback, Brashears. This is a pitch back to the tailback. Right side is going to be knocked down and picked up maybe a yard. As the pitch went to Jimerson, he was knocked down. As in on the play defensively was Brian Holter for the Panthers.
He actually lost about a half a yard on that, maybe a full yard.
So the Panther defense off to a running start so far. Call it 2nd down, and we'll call it 11.
Just like last year, that's where teams will try to take advantage of the Panthers outside, but this team is pretty quick. They cover the field pretty well.
Henderson will go wide to the left once again. Now he'll come back in motion to the far side of the field. Brashears, long count, looks like offside, left side of the offensive line of the Leopards jump before the snap. Looked like the whole left side moved that time, Rob.
Just a little out of sync there.
So flags down on the field. That'll stop the clock with 8:22 left to play in the first quarter. Panthers with the lead 6-0 as they took a fumble recovery and marched right in for the touchdown. On a 15-yard pass from Brad Collett to Jake Goheen. Call will be a 5-yarder coming up against the Leopards. You're right, it is lightning back over there, Rob.
It is. It's starting to really cloud up in that direction.
It'll set up a 2nd down and long. Ball spotted at the Leopard 42-yard line as Brashears brings him up. Wide man Henderson to the far side of the field. I formation behind Brashears. Here's Brashears, spins the play-action pass. Looking, big chase, now throws downfield. Has a man out there, complete at the 40-yard line.
And they called him down before he fumbled. The ball got away.
Jake Goheen made the tackle, and the reception.
William Burns and Goheen made the play.
Great catch by Burks.
There's a flag back there, though, and they were in motion again.
So again, a nice gain.
Wipe that one out.
Wiped out.
Big 18-yard gain, in fact.
Burks did make a fine catch as he was in traffic.
Burks is a big guy. He is like 6'4", and he went up for that one. There wasn't any way anybody else was going to catch it. It was well placed by Brashears.
6'4", 210 is Burks, but the penalty will bring it back to the 30, just over the 36-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and long, over 20 over 1st and 10. As again, Henderson goes wide to the right. I formation behind Brashears. Brashears calls for it. He has it. Play action once again. Drop straight back. Flare pass right side, the 35-yard line up near the 40-yard line. As the reception was made by Donald Gage. Adam Bryden on the play defensively for the Panthers. So a gain for the Leopards out to their own 38-yard line.
Good play by Chris Barton on that play to get some penetration, make him go deep, and he got a piece of him too.
Leopards going to a lot of play action early here, Rob. 7:27 left to play first period.
That was their first completion, and they only picked up a yard.
Henderson goes wide left. It's 3rd down and still about 19 needed for the 1st and 10. I formation behind Brashears. He calls for the football. Here's Brashears rolling, looking, throws way downfield. Intended for Henderson, picked off almost by the Panthers. His back defensively on the play was Perry. He and Perry almost came up with an interception on that one at his own 30-yard line.
It's a good thing he got a piece of it because the receiver had broken deep behind him and almost came up with it. And if he had, that would have been 6 points for the Leopards, but he just got enough of it to knock it off target.
Burks has some speed for a big man. It's 4th down as the Leopards will be forced to punt. As it'll be Goheen, one of the deep receivers for the Panthers, as they'll await the kick at just inside their own 25-yard line. Here's the snap and the punt. High kick up into the lights. It'll come to Goheen at the 29-yard line. Fakes a reverse, comes to the near side. 30, Goheen, 35, 40, 45, and knocked out of bounds up near the midfield stripe. Goes Jake Goheen. They fake the reverse on that one. And Goheen gets a good return out of it.
About 23 yards
by Dennis Garrett.
About a 23-yard return, and again, the Panthers have excellent field position.
They'll spot the ball in Leopard territory, just inside the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 Panthers, so both possessions have started inside Leopard territory. 6:53 left to play in the first quarter. Ball will be spotted on the near hash mark, so running room to the Panthers' left. As split out wide to the left this time is Rick Daniel. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Collett spins, fake fullback, handoff Jones. Oh, right side inside the 45, 44, maybe the 43-yard line goes Jamie Jones.
Running very tough. He looks like he wants to have this wishbone and run from the backfield like last year. He has the potential to really be a threat back there, and looks like he's taking the challenge.
I know Jamie Jones is a very versatile ball player. He played quarterback some last year and some at flanker, right?
Indeed so, and this year he played some halfback late last year as well. 2nd
down, Panthers need 5 for the 1st and 10. Collett fake left side. Now he rolls left. Collett at the 40, 35. Collett to 30, hit hard inside the 30, falls forward to the 25. Receivers really stood up. Rob as he crossed the 30-yard line, but he got up. He took a lick.
He did indeed, and they hit him one way, and then came somebody from behind, hit him the other, and he just popped right back up. A good run for him, and shows he's durable as well.
William Burks, one of the men over there, is checking in for the Benton Panthers, is Matt Welch.
It was a good bootleg, and he just kept it on his hip and got outside at 17 yards.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball at the Leopard 26-yard line. Wishbone behind Collett. Here's Collett, handoff to the first man through the fullback. As on the carry, Greg Little.
Check that Hughes in there
Hughes
now.
is checked in at fullback. That was Hughes on the carry. As Hughes gets it inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, a pickup of just a couple will set up a 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers. Benton 6, Malvern nothing.
Well, maybe Coach Schweifheit was just blowing smoke about this run and shoot.
Well, I think
Haven't seen it yet.
I think he'd lost some sleep over that, don't you?
I know he did.
It is 2nd down. Panthers need 8 from their 26. Again, it's the wishbone behind Collett. Wide receiver to the right side. Here's Collett, comes down the line, hands off to the fullback. Good fake by Collett as he carried out that fake, and the handoff went to the fullback. As it was Hughes, again the ball carrier, and Hughes is down near the 22-yard line before Isaac Davis makes the stop defensively for the Leopards. So the Panthers will be looking at a 3rd down. They'll need about 6 for the 1st and 10. Panthers lead 6-zip. Late first quarter. Goheen comes wide to the right. Goheen caught the TD pass, the first of the season, from Brad Collett. Again, it's the wishbone. Here's Collett. He rolls right, passes to Goheen, and Goheen almost made another spectacular catch down around the 12-yard line. Had his hands on the ball, but could not hang on.
I told you he was acrobatic. He jumped up in the air, spun around, and almost caught it one-handed back behind him. It would have been spectacular.
Looks like he's bouncing on a trampoline at times. 4:23, clock stopped on the incompletion.
Thing about jumping up in the air like that, he really makes himself a target, and he took a shot that time and a little shaken up. They're going to go for it on 4th.
It is 4th down, and they still need about 6 for the 1st and 10. They'll be in the wishbone.
And for the first time, they've broken that bone. Greg Rogers lined up in a slot.
And Perry on the right side. Here's the handoff going to Rogers coming from the right side. He's inside the 20 and fights his way to the 18, maybe the 17-yard line, Rob.
It was a tough run. They ran the trap, and it didn't quite get the first down, though.
So the Panthers give it up on downs as the play made defensively by Mark Traylor for the Leopards. Malvern takes over, 1st and 10 with 4:19 left to play in the first quarter. Panthers leading at 6-0. They'll spot it at the 17-yard line of Malvern as the defense checks in for the Panthers. With Greg Mundy up front at the nose man. At 5-man front for the Panthers as they dig in. Brashear is the quarterback for the Leopards. Has them set, I formation. Here's Brashear's quick pitch goes to Jimerson. Jimerson spins out over the 20-yard line, knocked out of bounds as he came across the 20. Philip Jimerson, a 5'9", 156-pound junior, forced out of bounds by Greg Mundy, coming all the way across the field, Rob.
Mundy is a very active nose guard. You don't tie him up very often in the middle in there, and he gets outside very well.
It'll be 2nd down about 4 after a pickup of 6 for Jimerson. Wide left comes Henderson. I formation behind Brashears. Chad Brashears, the Malvern quarterback, has them set in the I. Here's the handoff to Jimerson once again. Right side. He's going to be piled up as he comes across to the 25. Got maybe to the 26-yard line. Goes Philip Jimerson. Greg Mundy once again, one of the first to get there. So it'll set up a third down. And about 3 yards needed for... Actually, less than that. It's over the 26. It's about third down and about a yard and a half. Rob, as wide left goes Cedric Henderson. Malvern has stayed in the I all night. Wide receiver left side. Leopards move from right to left. They're in the I behind Brashears. Brashears, Jimerson, right side, stacked up, knocked down behind the line of scrimmage on a big defensive play.
And it was Mundy breaking through the line with a little help there from Big Adam Wright.
Greg Mundy and Adam Wright. Greg, the first to get there, and stopped it on a big third down, and they needed about a yard and a half. So again, the Leopards will be forced to punt for the second time in this ball game.
Ended up losing about 2.
As again, it'll be Goheen dropping back deep, along with Rick Daniel for the Panthers. Line of scrimmage about the 25-yard line. Nose of the football right at the Malvern 25. We have an official timeout on the field. Let's see. We'll keep it right here for the moment, as the officials trying to get something straight. Now we're set to go. Fourth down play. Goheen and Daniel stand back inside their 40 to await the punt. Here's the snap and the kick. Low kick will come, drop. Goheen picks it up at the 35 now to bounce. Comes to the near side. Goheen the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, the 40, 35, 30. Tries to break a tackle inside the 25 and pulled down at the 20-yard line. Great return by Jake Goheen before Chad Brashears finally forced him out of the bounds.
They really set that up beautifully. It was well executed. A return of, let's see, 15.
Rob, he wasn't touched till he got almost across midfield. You're right. They set it up well.
46 yards on the return.
46
and, the last
return.
man got him, the punter, Brashears.
So the Panthers, great field position following Goheen's punt return.
They've had it all night.
A minute 54 left to play. Panthers have the ball just inside the Leopard 20. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Here's Collett. Long count. Handoff. Jamie Jones right up the middle. Jones is stacked up. Picked up just a couple of tough yards that time, as Jamie Jones carrying the ball a lot. Tackle made by William Burks for the Leopards. 1:40 left to play first quarter. Panthers lead 6-0 and threatening once again. As checking in is Matt Welch. It's second down and about 8 needed for the Panthers. Ball is spotted inside the 20 down near the 17-yard line of the Leopards. Collett brings them up in the wishbone. Running room to the Panthers' left. Here's Collett on the fake. Rolls right, wants to throw. Now he'll run. 15. Collett knocked down at the 11-yard line.
He had Yoakum open deep for just a moment, but he just the timing just wasn't quite right, and he turned it up and did a good job of getting positive yardage.
Couldn't pull the trigger, so he tucked it in and got it down to just outside the 10 before Dennis Garrett made the stop defensively for the Leopards. And the Panthers are looking at a third down, and they'll need just a couple of yards to go. Third down and 2, call it. Ball inside just outside the 10-yard line. Third down and a couple. Wishbone. Wide receiver to the left side. Collett calls for the football. Collett spins. Collett will keep. Now he wants to throw. Throws in the end zone. Oh, just off the fingertips of the tight end. Yoakum had the ball right on his fingertips and let it slip away, and it falls incomplete.
That was another case of the ball being, the receiver being screened a little bit there. Yoakum got behind the defense, but Kent Keith, the safety for Malvern, just got deep enough just got his hand up to screen the play, and broke Yoakum's concentration, and the ball fell incomplete.
Brian Holter is checked in offensively. It's fourth down and 2, and the Panthers are going for it. 33 seconds left to play first quarter. Ball just outside the 10, fourth and 2. Here's Collett, spins, rolls right. He slips, and it's going to get the Panther. It's
what a play
by Jamie Jones. What a play he made improvising back there. It will not be a first and 10, as he was losing his balance in the backfield. Got the ball off to Jamie Jones, just flipped it out there, Rob.
It could have been a greater play than it was, but even as it was, it avoided a big loss and gave them a chance at the first down. As it is, they end up turning the ball over deep in the Malvern territory as it was.
Panthers have had the field position for this entire first period, and only 28 seconds left in it. Benton leads 6-0.
The Malvern crowd applauding their charges for holding there when Benton had first down at the 19 starting that series.
So Malvern takes over. At quarterback is Chad Brashears, the 6'1", 160-pound junior, has his backs in the eye. Long count. Here's a handoff to the first man through, the fullback, Donald Gage, and Gage is going to be stopped for just a short gain. Roger Barker coming up from linebacker to make the stop for the Panthers. Collar to pick up maybe a yard, right, Rob?
I think you're right there.
I'm having some difficulty with sweat in my eyes tonight.
I'll tell you what, looks like the rain's getting a little closer.
There's
some lightning over there.
We'll call it second down, and the Leopards will need about 9 for the 1st and 10. As that is the end of the first quarter with the score, Benton 6 and Malvern nothing. Back with second quarter action right after this 1-minute break.
Benton's going to regret nothing.
Start the second quarter. Malvern has it on a second down play. As Brashears, the quarterback, gives it to Jemison. He has running room left side. He's out over the 15 up over around the 17-yard line was Philip Jemison.
Cliff Phillips on the stop there.
Rob, you brought up a good point during that last break that Benton may regret not taking advantage of some of these opportunities they've had deep in Malvern territory.
Well, most of the game's been played in their end of the field, and that end of the field, and if this field position continues, Benton will surely reap some rewards from it, but hopefully they won't look back on that and regret it.
Third down at 4 as the Leopards come up to the line of scrimmage in the I formation behind Brashears. Here's Brashears spinning handoff. Jemison left side has a little bit of running room, but it's closed up very quickly as I believe it was that Holter or Hembrick that made the tackle for the Panthers.
There's a form tackle there by Hembrick. Very well done. And stopped him short of a first down.
Had an opening just for a second, but it closed very quickly. And again, that runs Malvern out of downs. They'll have to punt the football away as Daniel and Goheen. Well, Jake Goheen has touched the ball twice tonight on punt returns and done a fantastic job. He's also caught a touchdown pass to put the Benton in the lead, 6-0, as Brashears is the punter for the Leopards. Goheen and Daniel will stand just inside the 50-yard line. Their side of the field. Good kick by Brashears. Lands at the 32-yard line. Picked up by Daniel. Here's Daniel at the 30. Comes to the near side. 35 and tackled from behind at about the 37-yard line. Rick Daniel brought down. A good tackle by Donnie Gage. But again, pretty good field position for the Panthers early in the second quarter.
Again, the Benton defense held up very well on that series, and they make the risks that the Benton offense has taken and going for it on fourth down a couple of times really work out because they've held their ground, and Malvern hadn't been able to take advantage of those stops.
We have an official timeout on the field. Might run down the officials for you in tonight's ball game. We won't have time for that, it doesn't look like, as it's quickly timed back in. 10:27 left to play in the first half. Benton 6, Malvern nothing. Coming out wide to the left side will be Matt Welch, and they've broken the bone, one time tonight, Rob?
One time.
Wishbone this time behind Collett. Collett calls for the football. He spins. Hands off Jones. Tries the right side. He's over the 35-yard line and got maybe a yard on the play. Not much more than that. Jamie Jones, the ball carrier, finally brought down by Dennis Garrett. 9:59 left to play first half. Official will spot the ball at the Malvern 38.5-yard line. It'll be second down. They'll need close to 8 for the 1st and 10. Coming out wide to the left this time for the Panthers. I don't have a 38 on my roster, Rob.
Neither do I.
Wishbone formation
Look,
behind
he's got
Collett.
a sophomore's white helmet, so we know he's a sophomore.
Handoff to, rather, fake to Jones. Now Collett passes down the middle, almost picked off.
That was interference on that play.
Interference is going to be called, too, as the flag was dropped.
Mark Traylor cut across. Looked like he was trying to go, kind of going for the ball, but he clipped Yoakum's hands on the play, and I think that'll be the call, that pass interference there. Didn't make it look like he was going for the ball enough.
Drew Yoakum, the intended receiver. Flags were dropped, and it will go in the Panthers' favor as they'll walk it off. And this was the ball on Malvern's side of the field once again. They should feel right at home over there.
It's been there all night. And I'm sure the Panthers would like to take advantage of this field position this time.
Pass interference as the pass was intended for Drew Yoakum. Wide left goes Ian Perry for the Panthers. Collett brings him up to the line of scrimmage as he'll come up behind Jake Watney. Wishbone formation once again for the Panthers. Collett calls. Collett spins. Handoff Jones. Jones finds a little bit of running room. It's inside the 45, down to 43. Might have gotten to the 42-yard line. And again, it was big William Bergson on the tackle for the Leopards. They'll spot the ball closer to just inside the 42-yard line. So a pickup of close to 4 that time for Jamie. Didn't look like he got that much.
He's doing a good job. And they're doing just enough passing to open it up a little bit on the run.
This time it'll be Matt Welch to the left side. Ball squarely in the middle of the field. Wishbone behind Collett. Collett spins, comes down the line on the option. Pitch back goes to Jones. He fumbles the football that falls on it at the 45-yard line. Jones couldn't handle the pitch on the option, but did a good job of falling on it, playing it safe, and made the recovery. It moved just outside the 45. As covering on the play was Michael Langley for the Leopards. Spot the ball at the 46-yard line, closer to the 45. Third down and long.
Here's a situation where we may see them break the bone with the 3rd and 10, but no.
Doesn't look like it. Goheen
Right
is the wide receiver to the left side of the field, and the Panthers are in the wishbone. Collett sets them. Calls. Collett wants to throw. Quick pass over the middle. Goheen has it at the 35-yard line to the 33, 1st and 10 Panthers.
It's the same play they've been running every time with Goheen, is that slant in, and he beats the man inside. He's just a great job of running the pattern, and Collett's putting it right on the money, except for that one time that he missed the juggling catch from behind. And there they are, a big 3rd down conversion, 1st down, and they're down to, what, the 32 now.
Collett the 32-yard line, 1st and 10 as that number 38 checks in. We'll have to check on that at halftime, Rob, and see who that is. It is a sophomore. He's got that white helmet on, as you say. So it's 1st and 10 Panthers. They come up to the line of scrimmage, 7:59 left to play in the first half. Wishbone behind Brad. He calls, he spins. Option he'll keep inside, right side, inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line goes Brad Collett. On the option play to the right, Isaac Davis in on the play for Malvern.
I said that before the game that Collett's not the classic wishbone quarterback, but he handles himself just fine back there.
Did okay that time, give him a pickup of about 6 and call it 2nd down and 4.
He's a pretty strong runner, and that really helps.
Ian Perry will be wide to the left. Again, they're in that bone. They've broken the bone one time so far tonight. Here's Collett. Collett rolls left on the pitch out. Now comes to his halfback as Greg Rogers is going to be knocked down as he comes inside the 25. Got it down to about the 23-yard line. And that will be close to the 1st and 10. Let's see where they spot it. Tackle made that time by Jason Purifoy for Malvern. It's going to be about a half yard short, it looks like, Rob, with 6:58 left to play in the first half.
And in comes Roger Barker into the backfield. He's shown up. He's been back there a couple of times. He's a big, strong, he's their linebacker. He's really known for his linebacking play, but he's going to work in the backfield this year, and he has shown some real spurts during the
He's at the right halfback spot. Handoff goes to Jones. Jones tries the right side. Nothing doing as he's pushed back. Got it to the line of scrimmage, and I don't believe much more than that. As the Leopard defense rolls to the occasion on that one to stop him, led by Kevin Wade to hit Jamie first. And that'll set up a 4th down play, 4th down and short. So we'll see what Coach Dwight Fight has up his sleeve.
Panthers haven't punted or kicked, had any kicking plays yet. They've gone for it in every 4th down situation. The offense has been working well enough that they've had a lot of 4th and shorts and have been in deep into Malvern territory. They haven't converted yet.
Greg Rogers checks back in along with Goheen, and we have an official timeout once again on the field. So we'll keep it right here. It is 4th down, and still a little less than a yard needed for the 1st and 10 as the Panthers will go for it with 5:57 left to play in the first half. Panthers move from right to left as you listen at home or in your car. Wishbone formation. Here's Collett, fakes to Jones. He's going to be hit in the backfield and drop for a big loss back around the 33, 34-yard line. As bursting through was Mike Cantrell for the Leopards. Big defensive play for the Leopards. They needed that.
Again, they looked for the pass on that play, a short yardage play, and they thought they'd catch Malvern off guard by rolling out, faking into the line and rolling out and throwing the pass. But Malvern had an all-out blitz on. They were going to stop up the gaps, and they just shot through and nailed Collett for a big loss.
Malvern has it 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. 5.5 minutes left to play first half. They'll be in the eye behind Brashears. Brashears, the quarterback, long count. He has it. Here's a quick toss to Jimerson. Tries the left-hand side. He's going to be stood up behind the line of scrimmage.
I think that was Jared Hambrick again with a good hit.
Hambrick it was, along with Phillips there for the Panthers, as I believe he lost about a half yard, maybe a yard on that one. Good defense by the Panthers with just over 5 minutes left to play in the first half. Benton with the lead, 6-0.
Benton's defense has really been picking up the offense, doing a great job. I don't show Malvern with any first downs yet.
I don't believe they have one. Brashears comes out, or rather Henderson comes out wide to the right. Brashears the quarterback. Play action pass. Looks down the middle. The pass is blocked to the line of scrimmage and almost picked off.
Adam Wright got a hand on it and took a dive for it, but couldn't pick it up. I didn't see who knocked it down.
Somebody got a big paw at the line of scrimmage and knocked that ball up in the air, and Adam Wright came ever so close to having an interception. It'll be 3rd down, and still about 11 needed for the 1st and 10 for the Leopards. Ball spotted at the Leopard 28-yard line. 3rd down, call it 11. As Brashears will again send Cedric Henderson, the 5'10", 170-pound senior, to the right side. Brings his backs up in the eye. They've been in the eye all night. Brashears, long count once again. He goes to the trap play and handoff, and it's going to be a big loss in the backfield as there are maroon jerseys and maroon helmets all over the place that time.
They took that inside reverse again, trying to fool the Panthers, and they didn't fool Greg Mundy again. He was right there, almost got the handoff from Brashears. Instead of big Vincent Bradford, their tight end. He came a tight end around, and it, again, was foiled by the Benton defense.
Greg Mundy was the leader, but like I say, there were maroon jerseys everywhere. It is 4th down and 15, so Brashears again will have to punt from deep in his own territory to either Goheen or Daniel. They'll await it back at about their own 40-yard line. Here's Brashears' kick. Not quite as good as the last one. Comes to Goheen at the 43. Comes to the near side, the 45. Flag goes down, and Goheen goes down at the 45-yard line. This time, the Leopard side didn't see what happened either. The flag was thrown between the 45 and the 50. As this time, Goheen could find no running room.
The crowd gave a big ooh and ah. I think that usually indicates there was some kind of a clip, because those things are often obvious in the open field, and that was a preliminary indication.
Hard to get a run back without a penalty, seems like these days, except Goheen's first 2 were dandies. The play will go against the Panthers, and the penalty will set it back inside their 30-yard line.
It's really the first major mistake the Panthers have made, and that's been a key to their success in the past and in this game, is avoiding mistakes. They took advantage of one major mistake that Malvern had in the first half, that fumble, and on their first play from scrimmage, they took it in for the only score of this game.
Nose of the football just shy of the 30-yard line as Ian Perry comes wide to the left, and they're out of the bone this time, Rob, as the man in the slot, one fullback, Daniels in motion, or rather Rogers in motion, and the handoff goes to the fullback, though, as they come out of the bone. As we'll see who's running fullback on this series of downs.
They sent that was Rogers in motion who came around and took that handoff. Wouldn't you know, they'd break the bone, go to that run and shoot type of set, and run the ball.
Stopped at the 32 by Isaac Davis, so a pickup of about 2 that time. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Run and shoot. Confused, but
again a lone setback. Here's Collett's throw. It's going to be caught by Yoakum. 50, 45, 45, 30, 25, 20. He's going to score. Drew Yoakum, touchdown, Benton.
Collett laid it out there just perfectly. Yoakum was in a seam, caught it on the in stride and ran a good 50 yards after the catch.
Beautiful run. I didn't know if he was going to run out of gas or not, but a touchdown pass from Collett to Yoakum. More run than pass. And it's Benton 12, Malvern nothing with 3:04 left to play in the first half.
68-yard pass reception, and I'm sure that made Drew Yoakum feel a lot better because he was a little bit down about that one he missed in the end zone earlier in the game. He took that one in stride and just never was headed. A beautiful play for the Panthers.
And the Panthers are going for two after missing their first extra point. Panthers come up with a lone setback behind Collett. Man in motion back to the far side as Collett rolls right, flag down, pass is thrown, caught in the end zone by...
I believe that's Daniel in the far corner.
But a flag is down on the play. Daniel made the catch in the far corner of the end zone, but a flag is down on the play. So we'll see what the official calls on this one.
It's the preliminary.
Panthers reacting as if it might be against them.
It was a motion penalty. They may have had two men in motion at the same time. They're going to still go for two, I think.
Well, as Coach Fight said in practice, they did that, and you can do that in Canada, but not here.
That's right.
And this obviously is not Canada tonight. So they'll go for two again with 3:04 left to play. The penalty will bring the ball out to the 8-yard line as number 38 will check in that number at halftime, goes wide to the right. Goheen is wide to the left. Wingbacks now man in motion.
They've broken that bone
to
again.
the left side. Here's Collett rolling left, gets a pass away. He's going to be hit just as he gets the pass away, and it falls short of the intended receiver. As again, it was Drew Yoakum. So there's time out on the field. 3:04 left to play in the first half of the score. Benton 12 and Malvern nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Can't get a minute in. Who brought that? Oh,
we welcome our Malvern fans here tonight. I believe I recognize the mayor of Malvern, Bill Smith. All right, give him a big round of applause. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate you coming.
Larry Hart back with Rob Patrick at C.W. Lewis Stadium as you listen live. And the Panthers so far off to a good start for the 1989 football campaign. They lead at 12-0 on two touchdown passes from Brad Collett. The last one to Drew Yoakum that covered 68 yards, and the first one to Goheen that covered 15 yards.
It's really been a pretty good show for the Panthers. The defense has been strong. The offense has been clicking, and they've played the game mostly in the Malvern end of the field, which indicates they've done a good job with field position. They really haven't had to punt yet.
Ball will come to Mark Traylor over his head, actually, and bounces into the end zone, and he'll down it for the touchback. So a good kick that time by the Panthers. As Traylor, I believe, misjudged that ball, it looked like. He ran up on it just a little, and it flew over his head.
He just didn't get the angle on it. It bounced to his left, and he got over too late to pick it up, and it got into the end zone. A good kickoff by the sophomore, Reed Kaufman.
Reed Kaufman on the kickoff, and the Leopards put it in play 1st and 10 from their 20. 3:04 left to play in the first half. Benton Panther football on K107 FM. Hope you enjoy tonight's broadcast. If you do, be sure and let our sponsors know about it. As Brashears, the Leopards unravel the huddle, coming out wide to the right. But the Leopards will be Cedric Henderson. Leopards move from left to right as you listen. High formation behind Brashears. Fumbles the ball, picks it up, gets a handoff to Jimerson, and Jimerson's going to be stacked up at about the 20. And again, we have a flag down on the play. Flag dropped here on the near side at the line of scrimmage as Jimerson got nothing after Brashears fumbled the snap from center. Greg Mundy playing on the play defensively.
Looks like it's a procedure, and I think probably the Panthers will motion, and they're going to decline it.
They will decline it. There was no gain on the play as Jimerson was stacked up at the line of scrimmage. So it sets up a 2nd down and 10 for the Leopards with just under 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Henderson again will come wide to the right side. I formation behind Brashears. Jimerson engaged the running backs. Running room with the ball squarely in the middle of the field. Brashears calls for it. Little play action. He rolls left, wants to throw. He's looking down the middle. Has it caught by Henderson. 35, 40, 45, 50. Breaks the tackle. 45, 40, 30. He's going to score. The 15, the 10. Jamie Jones is going to drag him down.
That's Ian Perry from the far
Perry,
side.
number 2, not 7.
He was the last man, and he made up a lot of ground on him just by having the angle, and really saved the touchdown by catching him at the 1-yard line.
I'm glad he proved me wrong because I didn't think he would catch up with him, but he did at about the 1, as Rob said. 2:28 left to play in the first half, and Malvern knocking at the door now, trailing at Benton 12-0. It'll be first and goal at the 1.
That about tripled Malvern's total offense right there. 79-yard completion.
Henderson did a good job of breaking a couple of tackles that time. First and goal from the 1-yard line. Brashears
first down
brings him
for
up.
Malvern in the game.
Power I formation. Spins, handoff, Jimerson. Jimerson touchdown. Philip Jimerson, the 5'9", 156-pound junior, scores from a yard out to make it a 12-6 ball game, with a touchdown coming at 2:20 left to play in the first half. And the extra point to come, the score, Benton 12 and Malvern 6. Still some lightning, and I thought I heard some thunder rumbling in the background a few minutes ago, Rob.
That really could cool things down, but I don't know what it would do to this ball game. It'd be interesting to, I guess everybody would tighten up the offense, but that explosion right there really changed the complexion of the game right before the half. Malvern getting a big boost.
Here's a snap, and the kick is put down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field with the score, Benton 12, Malvern 7. Panther football will continue in a moment. Back live at C.W. Lewis Stadium, Larry Hart along with Rob Patrick, and the Leopards have just gotten on the scoreboard as a big pass play set it up, and a 1-yard touchdown run by Philip Jimerson. Point after good, it's now 12-7 ball game. 2:20 left to play in the first half, as Jamie Jones
Cliff Phillips back there deep.
and Cliff Phillips back deep for the Panthers. They'll await the kick at about their own 2-yard line. Ball is teed up.
It'll be interesting to see how the Panthers come back here if they open it up. I'm sure it'll depend a little on field position.
Again, it's a short kick taken at the 15 by one of the backs over the 20, the 25-yard line. I believe that's Daniel. Daniel knocked down as he comes across the 30, got it to about the 32-yard line. Didn't catch the number on that return.
I think it was Greg Rogers.
Greg Rogers instead of Daniel. And Rogers on the return out over the 30-yard line to about the 32.5. First and 10 for the Panthers, 2:19 left to play in the first half. So the Panthers, with the 12-point lead, now down to 5 late in the second quarter. Quickly checking out of the ball game is Greg Little. Wide receiver to the left side. Man in motion. They've broken the bone once again. Here's Collett rolling left. Wants to throw. Looking to the near side for Goheen. Goheen drops it at the 48-yard line.
You don't see that very often, Jake Goheen dropping the ball. A nicely placed pass by Collett over the head of the defender and just threw it up, and Goheen ran under it.
Jason Purifoy covering on the play for the Leopards. Incompletion will stop the clock with 1:48 left to play in the first half, as Ian Perry will check back in for the Panthers.
Unofficially, I have Collett 5 for 8 for 105 yards.
Well, Collett's done a good job. The Panther passing game has done a good job tonight. Wide left this time comes Ian Perry, and again they will not be in the wishbone. Wide receivers to either side of the field. Man in motion is Daniels. Here's the handoff, right side out over the 30 up near the 35-yard line. Pick up on the play of close to 3, as it was Greg Rogers on the carry. Tackle made by Paul Butler for Malvern. Rick Daniel checks back in along with Matt Welch for the Panthers. Benton looking at a third down. They'll need about 7. The nose of the football is just shy of the Panther 35-yard line, as we're ticking down near the 1-minute mark on the scoreboard clock. Wide to the left side comes Rick Daniel. Again, lone setback behind Collett. Collett calls. Collett rolls left, looks down the middle. Pass is incomplete. Intercepted at the 50-yard line. And let's see if they call it an interception. Pass was intended for Drew Yoakum. It was tipped, and it was picked off by Kevin Biggs.
It was Greg Rogers coming out from the slot. It got through his hands, and a diving interception there. Who did you say made the interception? I thought it was Cedric Henderson.
Either Henderson or Biggs on the interception for the Leopards, and they've got it at excellent field position once again with a minute left. Nose of the football in Panther territory. Call it the 49-yard line, 1st and 10 with less than a minute to play. As Brashears brings them to the line of scrimmage.
Benton has to call a timeout because they had only 10 men on the field.
So checking into the ball game, as Benton had to use a timeout with 52 seconds left to play. As Brashears huddles with his running backs, giving some last-minute instructions. Clock is stopped with 52 seconds left, first half. As the Panthers with a equipment adjustment. Now we're set to go as Brashears sets his offense in Panther territory just over the 50. Brashears calls. He spins, fakes pitch out, wants to look, throw, fakes a pass, now rolls left. He runs at the 50. Brashears the 45, inside the 40, knocked down hard at about the 38-yard line.
That was really a nice play by Brashears to make something good out of something bad. He wound up to throw the pass, and linebacker Brian Holcher hit his arm, and Brashears was lucky to hold on to the ball. He pulled it down and took off and picked up 12 yards.
Ball is spotted just inside the 38-yard line as Greg Mundy was one of the defenders there for the Panthers. His timeout on the field with 37 seconds left. The score, Benton 12, Malvern 7. Panther football will continue in a moment. Well, the scoreboard clock at C.W. Lewis Stadium showing 37 seconds left to play in the first half. Benton has taken a timeout as the Leopards are on the move, Rob, and they've taken advantage of a couple of breaks.
They've really taken the momentum away from the Panthers, mainly with that one big 79-yard pass that set up their touchdown, and then with the interception on the tipped pass. Now they're trying to go in and take the lead before the half.
Brashears has them set in Panther territory at the 38 on a first down play. Man in motion, Henderson back to the near side. Long count. Brashears drops straight back. Wants to throw deep down the middle. Has a man out there caught at the 22-yard line. Fumbles the football, and Malvern picks it up at the 18-yard line and is spun down inside the 5 over for the touchdown.
What a turn of events. That was Bradford, Vincent Bradford, the tight end, just trailing the play. Happened to be there when the ball popped loose. Picked it up and ran it in for the touchdown, and now Malvern leads this game.
And it looked like Bradford was going to be wrestled out before he could get to the goal line after he picked that ball up on the lucky hop. I believe it was Rick Daniel that had him down there, Rob, but he managed to get into the end zone for the TD, and it's now a 13-12 ball game with a touchdown coming and only 28 seconds left to play in the first half. As the Leopards will try to make it a 14-12, the snap, ball put down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field with the score. Malvern 14, Benton 12. Panther football will continue in a moment. Well, a real sudden turn of events as Malvern down 12-0 just a couple of minutes ago. Now leads it by 14-12. 28 seconds left to play. As back deep for the Panthers will be Cliff Phillips and Jamie Jones. They'll both await inside their own 5-yard line. Phillips and Jones as the Leopards kick it off. Here's the kick. It'll come to the right side, and it's going to go bounce inside the 5 and bounce out of bounds. So that'll be a penalty call on the kickoff. And the Panthers will put it in play 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Well, a real shocker all of a sudden, Rob.
There's a big turnaround in this game, Benton. It was all Benton in the first quarter and a half, really. And in 3 big plays, and Malvern has the lead here, 14-12, and Benton's got to be a little shocked here, and it's going to.
Well, the Leopards are going to kick it again if they change that rule on me.
I don't know. I've never really been sure about they've got different rules. They've changed the rules on the kickoff so many times. It may be now that they have an option.
Evidently so, because Malvern now backed up at their 35-yard line. As Bradford again set to kick it off for the Leopards to either Jones or Phillips. Here's the whistle, and the kick once again by Malvern. It'll come down at the 6-yard line. Back out over the 10 is Phillips, the 15, the 20. Hit hard as it comes across the 20 to the 25-yard line.
That was the kicker who made the tackle on that, and he really lowered the boom on Cliff.
Good coverage that time as Cliff was really knocked down to the turf. Hit hard. 21 seconds left to play in the first half. Panthers will take it over. Ball is spotted inside their 25. Nose of the football just shy of the Panther 25-yard line, and only 21 seconds remaining in the first half. Well, the Panthers had it all in the first half, and rather the first quarter. It's been all Malvern basically for the second quarter. The Panthers have had their chances. Collett will bring them up. Breaks the bone. Lone set back behind Brad Collett. He has his offensive line set. Man in motion back to the left side as time runs out in the first half. Panthers did not get off that last play. That's the end of the first half with the score. Malvern 14 and the Benton Panthers 12. Back with halftime activities right after these messages. At C.W. Lewis Stadium, the Benton Marching Band concluded their halftime performance with a rendition of the Beach Boys' Fun, Fun, Fun. That's what the Panthers had for the better part of the first half, Rob, but it quickly changed.
Malvern scored all 14 points in the last 3 minutes. Benton has to, I don't know, at this point you don't look back, but if it stays this way, if they can't turn this game around, they'll look back at those 4th down plays. 3 times in the first half they had the ball inside the 25 of Malvern, and were moving the ball. They went for it on 4th down all 3 times, and all 3 times they came up short. And when you don't take advantage of those situations, a lot of times they come back to haunt you. Hopefully that won't be the case tonight. Benton can come back and win this game, but right now it's got them behind 14-12. And I didn't see the indication, but I would assume that the Panthers will take the ball. They had the option in the second half.
And there's a bit of a breeze kicking up too, Rob, and that feels mighty good.
Indeed it does. It'll be interesting if it does start to rain, how that will affect this game, because all the big plays in this game have been in the passing game.
We talked during the last break about the range of Heath Nix as a kicker. Not real sure about what it is, are we?
Well, last year he kicked some big field goals. He had one to win the Little Rock Mills game in the playoffs that was a good 30-yard kick. I don't remember exactly how far it was. And I imagine that second time they had a 4th down and 1 at the 10-yard line. I imagine he was within range there. Now, the other times they were outside the 20 and might have been out of his range.
Well, surprisingly, Benton is kicking off to start the second half, Rob.
Well, it may be that they want to play field position here with their defense, get Malvern nailed back deep and make them punt, and then try to get the ball near midfield and work from there.
It'll be Traylor back deep to await the kick. He'll stand just about his 10-yard line. Panthers here in the third quarter moving from left to right at Lewis Stadium as you listen. We're ready for second half action. Here's the kick. This time it will come to Traylor. Backs him up to his own 4-yard line. 5, 10, Traylor the 15. Traylor at the 20-yard line, 25-yard line. Breaks tackles over the 30. 35, breaks another couple of tackles out near the 40-yard line. Goes Mark Traylor. Finally brought down by Rick Daniel downfield on the kick coverage.
The kicker, Reed Kaufman, kind of slowed him down and allowed the pursuit to catch up, too. And the kicking game, Malvern's done very well in that area.
But a good job on the run back by Traylor. Set it up Malvern 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Leopards lead it by 2, 14-12, as Henderson will come wide to the left. I formation behind the Leopard quarterback, Brashears. He has Jimerson and Gage as his running backs. Gage the fullback, the deep back is Jimerson. Here's pitch, goes to Jimerson, right side 40. Jimerson comes across the 40, knocked down hard as he got about to the 43-yard line. Philip Jimerson, the tailback. Roger Barker on the tackle from his linebacker spot for the Panthers.
Barker is an all-state candidate. He is a good linebacker, and he's made some big pops tonight.
Pickup of about 3 sets up 2nd down and 7 for the Leopards. Again, that I formation. This time Henderson goes wide to the right, ball squarely in the middle of the field. I formation. Here's Brashears, fakes a pass, now pitches back to Jimerson. Jimerson cuts it against the grain, 40, 45. Jimerson the 50. Jimerson knocked down in Panther territory at about the 48-yard line. Jake Goheen got to him first for the Panthers. But
new wrinkle
on the play.
A new wrinkle for them. They faked the pop pass to the tight end and then pitched it, and he got away from some pursuit. The Panthers had some penetration there, but couldn't catch up with him.
First down Leopards at the 48-yard line of the Panther. Over the first down Leopards at the Panther 48-yard line as Brashears will send Henderson wide left this time. Backs in the I formation. Brashears calls, rolls right, passes over the middle, caught, complete inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line.
That's Bradford, their big tight end.
Bradford again, they're tied in on the reception, and it's another 1st and down. The Leopards are moving the football early here in the 3rd quarter. 10:30 left to play. Jake Goheen, once again, one of the maroon jerseys on the tackle. As checking in defensively for the Panthers is Alan Bearden. Leopards quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Adam Wright checks out of the ball game. I formation again behind Brashears. Leopards lead it by 2. Brashears, hand off, first man, second man through the tailback, Jimerson. This time he's going to be stacked up. That Mundy that got to him first at about the 35-yard line. Greg Mundy.
Down underneath the pile, Dean Bird.
Dean Bird also there, as Bird was the last to get up. Spot the gain to the Panther 36.5-yard line. It'll be 2nd down with 9:48 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down, they still need about 10 for the 1st and 10. High backs behind Brashears. Long count. Brashears rolls left, wants to throw. Now he'll run, get the pass away. It's going to be caught at the 28-yard line once again. I believe the big tight end, Bradford, on the reception at the 28-yard line. Cliff Phillips on the tackle for the Panthers, but another...
I don't think they picked up the first down on that one.
It'll be a couple of yards shy.
Brashears made a good play on that play. He was in the arms of Jared Hambrick and another Panther on the way down, and he threw the ball on target for an 8-yard completion.
Ball near the 28-yard line of the Panthers. It is 3rd down, and the Leopards need about 2 for the 1st and 10. Gage and Jimerson, the backs in the I formation behind Brashears. Here's Brashears, pitch, Jimerson 30, cuts it back against the grain, 25. Jimerson knocked down as he goes across the 20 to the 19, maybe the 18-yard line. Again, Jake Goheen having to make the tackle in the secondary for the Panthers.
Daniel in on it as well.
Along with Rick Daniel, 1st and 10 for the Leopards. They are on the move after taking the second half kickoff. 8:49 left to play 3rd quarter.
Certainly isn't what they had in mind when they chose to kick off. They wanted to nail the Leopards deep in their own territory and get the ball back quickly, but Malvern's been moving the ball, just picking up where they left off the first half.
Henderson wide right, wide side of the field. Quick pass over the middle to Bradford. He's going to be knocked down inside the 10 as he makes the reception.
That time it was big William Burks on the reception, I believe, or was it?
Malvern with those white jerseys and orange numbers, a bit hard to read sometimes.
Big 99.
The pass was complete, as it was Burks on the reception, and it's going to be spotted inside the 10, close to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal for Malvern. Already leading by 2 at 14-12. 8:20 left to play, 3rd quarter. Ball just outside the 7 as Henderson again will go wide to the right. Ball squarely in the middle of the field for the Leopards as Brashears sets his offense. High formation. Brashears holds that ball high, pitches to Jemerson. Jemerson hit hard at the 8, fights his way forward to the line of scrimmage and might have picked up another yard at most, Rob.
Dean Bird and Cliff Phillips did a great job containing that play. Dean forced it inside, and Cliff finished him off. And they'll need more of that to keep Malvern out of the end zone.
It'll be second down and goal from just inside the 7. 7:42 left to play, third quarter. Second down play coming up for the Leopards. This time Henderson is on the wing on the right side. Here's the quarterback, handoff to Jemerson, and Jemerson's inside the 5 as flags go down on the play. Jemerson fought his way down to about the 3-yard line before being stacked up there by the Panther defense. And we'll see what the yellow flag is all about. Looks like it's going against Malvern, Rob, as they retreat towards their own goal line.
And a 5-yard penalty.
5-yard walk-off will set the ball back outside to just inside the 12. It'll be second down and goal from there.
A procedure call.
7:27 left to play, third quarter. Malvern 14, Benton 12. Leopards knocking on the door once again as they've taken the second half kickoff and marched it down to the 7. A penalty set him back outside to the 12. Brashears wants to throw. Drops straight back. Throws for the big tight end, open in the end zone. Touchdown, Malvern. Caught it very near the line in the far corner of the end zone. Either Burks or Bradford.
I think it's Burks.
William
99.
Burks. Big William Burks made the catch.
Kind of a fade pattern towards the corner. And Burks at 6'4", the big target, and Brashears laid it right in there for the touchdown.
It is a 20-12 game with a point after to come. Leopards at the line of scrimmage. Here's the snap. The ball is put down. The kick is up. And this time the kick is no good. It was wide to the left. Timeout on the field. 7:10 left to play, third quarter. The score, Malvern 20, Benton 12. Panther football will continue in a moment. To await the kick for the Panthers. Ball is teed up by the Leopards.
Here's his last 5 passes in a row.
And the kick, it's a low driving kick, will come to Jamie Jones at the 3, far side, 5, 10, Jamie the 15, cuts it back toward the middle at the 20, 25, knocked down as he comes across the 25 at about the 27-yard line goes Jamie Jones. Downfield on the play defensively for the Leopards was Stephen Newborn to make the tackle. Panthers put it in play, 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Good return by Jamie. 7:04 left to play in the third quarter.
Now the Panthers need to take advantage here. Panthers need to take advantage here, get some of this momentum back, move the football, and we'll see what they do. They're back in the wishbone, tightened it up a little bit. Maybe they'll go back and try to power it out of here.
Goheen goes wide to the left for the Panthers. Fighting Panthers trail 20-12. Here's Collett. First down pass to Yoakum, complete. 35. Yoakum over the 35 to about the 37-yard line before 3 white-jerseyed Leopards got him, led by Michael Langley. But the gain should be a 1st and 10 out over the 35 near the 37-yard line. It is close. May have to have a measurement right here. Close to a 10-yard pickup on the first down pass from Collett to Goheen.
Benton offense keeping Malvern guessing. They'll line up in that tight offense and hit a little pass over the middle like that to Yoakum. And then they'll break it and go into the run and shoot alignment and run the ball. It's given Malvern a lot to think about, and it's been effective.
They'll stretch out the chains. Got my view blocked from here. Looks like it may be just short. First down, Benton. They took a long look at that one. First down, Benton at their 37-yard line.
That's a good start to a drive to try to get the momentum switched around.
First possession of the second half for the Panthers. By the way, that sophomore is Danny Cochran, number 38. He's in the ball game and split wide to the left. We did not have his number on the roster. He's in there now. Wishbone behind Collett. Collett gives to fakes the fullback, keeps the football, and is hit hard at the 37-yard line.
Malvern's got a very aggressive, physical defense, and the challenge is really on Benton at this point to move the ball on them.
Collett faked me, but not the Malvern defense on that one.
Picked up 1 yard.
Gain of a yard, 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers from their own 38-yard line. Benton trailing 20-12, 6:05 left to play, 3rd quarter. Goheen goes wide to the left. Panthers move from left to right as you listen. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Collett calls for the football. He spins, comes down the line, now drops back, wants to throw. Throws flat pass to Jones. Jones cannot hang on. Let's make sure that was not a lateral.
I'm almost certain it wasn't.
Collett was at it in the flat, but he wanted to make sure it was not a lateral either, as he's taught to do. He falls on that football, but he couldn't hang on. It falls incomplete. Stops the clock, 5:39, brings up a 3rd down play for the Panthers.
And this is the kind of play right here that if you make it, it really turns the momentum around. I know I've talked a lot about that lately, but this is the kind of play that can turn a game. If Malvern stops them here, it's really an uphill battle for the Panthers to come back. Of course, there is a lot of time left. But
I tell you what, Rob, did they call that a lateral? Look where the ball is.
It does look like
the 29-yard line. I believe they did. Here's Collett rolling right. Wants to throw. He's got a man open on the right side. Didn't see him. Collett at the 30. Knocked down hard at the 31-yard line. As up to make a clean, hard tackle was Larry Hudson. As the Panthers, and I didn't see a flag, and that ball was marked at the Panther 29-yard line in that 3rd down play.
So that would be counted as a run, and on a lateral, loss of 9 there, and then Collett gets back out to, the 33, so.
And that brings up 4th down, as Goheen will be in to punt. And this is the Panthers' first punt of the night, right?
That's right.
Goheen will kick it away to Traylor back at his 40. Here's Goheen's kick. Nice, high, wobbly kick. Will be taken, and he lets it drop at the 43. He takes a Malvern bounce and was touched by the Panthers, I believe, back at the 47. Did it touch a leopard? Panthers are saying that it touched one of the leopards, and they have the ball. No indication yet from the officials, as that ball took a great leopard bounce.
They have it looks like they're having a little conference there to see if anybody saw it touch a Malvern player. They'd say no.
It is Malvern's ball. Tracy downfield on the coverage for Benton. So Malvern with the ball in Panther territory at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
A 14-yard punt, that doesn't help.
That doesn't help at all. Late 3rd quarter, clock running with 4:15 left to play. Panthers trail 20-12. Henderson goes wide to the right for the Leopards. Brashears has gone all the way at quarterback. Leopards have been in the eye all night. Here's Brashears, handoff. Jemerson tries the right side of his offensive line, and not much doing that time on the carry by Jemerson, as he was stacked up at about the line of scrimmage. Might have fought his way forward for a yard, but no more than that. Brian Holter plugging the hole from his linebacker spot will bring up a 2nd down and call it, as they say, a long 9 or a short 10. I never liked that term. It is 2nd down. We'll call it 10. Malvern's ball in Benton territory, just inside the Benton 47. Rolling right is Brashears. Big chase, gets away from one tackler. He's at the 50, the 45, breaks the tackle at the 40, 35, finally brought down to the turf at about the 33-yard line.
That was a big play by the quarterback, Brashears. His initial receiver was covered. He broke out of a couple of tackles and slipped a couple more and picked up a 1st down. And those are the kind of plays that break your back. You played good defense. You got him to where it looks like a loss, and breaks 3 tackles and gets ahead for a 1st down.
Again, he made something good out of something that looked bad. It's 1st and 10 Leopards. Ball inside the Panther 35 at the 34. 3:10 left to play, 3rd quarter. I formation behind Brashears. Here's Brashears. Handoff. Jemerson, he tries to get outside, breaks a couple of tackles, and finally dropped at about the 31-yard line. Brashears will pick up a couple, maybe 3 on the play. Chris Barton in on the play defensively for the Panthers. They'll spot it closer to the 32-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and about 8. Pick up of about 2 on the play by Philip Jemerson. He's a junior, 5'9", weighs only 156, but he's a hard runner.
Low to the ground, got good quickness, and he's the leading rusher for the game, really. 16 carries, 40 yards.
Henderson wide left. Brashears comes down the line, pitches to Jemerson. Jemerson the 30. Jemerson the 25, inside the 25, down near the 22-yard line goes Philip Jemerson. And he's near that 1st down marker once again. Goheen on the tackle, along with Greg Mundy coming back. And it's another 1st and 10. They'll move the chains once again for the Leopards.
The Panthers defense is really going to have to bow up here. Another touchdown from Malvern may put them out of reach.
1st and 10 Leopards at the Benton 22. I formation behind Brashears. Brashears calls. Play action pass, dropping straight back, looking deep. Now getting some pressure. Gets the pass away down to the left side end zone. Knocked up in the air. Falls incomplete. Good defensive play back there by
Phillips. Looks like covering.
Cliff Phillips.
He was a little outsized there, but had good position, and they both went up at the same time. It was Vincent Bradford, the big tight end for Malvern, and Phillips did a good job to knock it away. And then, as the ball flew up in the air, he stayed with Bradford so that Bradford couldn't catch the ricochet. It was a good play.
Ball bounced way high in the air, but it falls incomplete. Stops the clock. 2:04 left to play 3rd quarter.
What made that even better was it right at the end zone line, so could have been 7 points.
Henderson wide left. Brashear has his offense set, has the ball. Fakes the pitch, wants to throw. Looking deep, looking down the middle for the big tight end. Overthrows him near the end line. I believe if he had run that one down, he would have been out over the end line anyway. As again, I believe it was Brashears, the intended receiver, Jake Goheen, covering on the play for the Panthers. Incompletion stops the clock at 1:59, 3rd quarter, and brings up 3rd down.
Bradford got behind the defense, and Brashears had time to throw it, and Malvern's clicking right now. A couple of incompletions here, and 3rd and 10, and this could be a big play in this game.
Benton defense needing to stop it here. 3rd down and 10. Malvern has the ball at the 22-yard line. We have a timeout on the field.
We're going to take a full one then?
I was going to check and make sure it is a full timeout. Timeout on the field with the score, Malvern 20, Benton 12. Panther.
Richard, we went in and talked to the defense there.
3rd down.
Giving them instruction.
Benton 22-yard line as Brashears has him at the line of scrimmage in the eye. 3rd and 10. Brashears fumbles the football, finally picks up the handle on it. He's being pressured, gets a pass off though. Wobbly pass in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown by the Leopards. Bradford again, right?
At that time it was, again, big number 99.
William Burks. It was Burks on the reception as he was open in the end zone. A wobbly.
This is Diane Quell. Was thrown out of desperation because after the fumble, Brashears had to scramble to get out of the way of a couple of tacklers. He ran into the referee in the backfield there and actually got a little bit of a block there from the referee. Used him real well and had just enough time to just float one up there, and there was Burks to get underneath it using that big 6'4".
So Langley in for the point after attempt. The ball is put down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field, 1:51 left to play in the 3rd quarter with the score, Malvern 27, Benton 12. Panther football will continue in a moment. Was good. It's now 27-12, 1:51 left to play in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff will come to over Jamie Jones' head and out of the end zone. Great
kick. Wind has really kicked up from that end of the field. It's blowing the banners down there, and I guess that's where the storms are, back up in that direction, and that one caught the wind and carried almost all the way through the end zone.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Panthers, now trailing 27-12. Panthers did all their scoring early. 2 touchdown passes from Brad Collett. One, a big one of 68 yards to Drew Yoakum. From Collett to Jake Goheen.
Ever since that big 79, the field position's been all Malvern.
Lone setback behind Collett. Here's Collett, and maybe too much time at the line of scrimmage as the play is whistled dead before it's really underway. Call is going against the Panthers.
It's a motion penalty.
Motion call, and their banners being blown off the fence now, Brad, and across the field as that wind is kicking up, as you say. Penalty will set the ball back at the 15-yard line of the Panthers. It'll be 1st down and 15.
Didn't really reach gut check time. They need something positive to happen now.
Now they're moving into what has become a very stiff wind here in the 3rd quarter. Again, they come out of the bone. Man in motion back to the near side. Collett wants to throw. Looks over the middle. Pass incomplete. Intended for Rick Daniel. It'll fall incomplete up near the 24-yard line.
That was really the first pass I guess the second pass that has been really off the mark by Collett. And even on the first one, Goheen almost called in. That time was just a little bit too far behind to even get a hand on.
Jake Goheen gets the play from Coach Dwight Fight, checks into the huddle, quickly to Panthers out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage.
That was, by the way, there was Kent Keith almost making a diving interception at the end of that pass on that play.
Receivers to either side of the field. Goheen is left. Collett rolls left. He throws down the middle. Almost picked off as a pass intended over on the far side for Drew Yoakum. And covering on the play defensively for the Leopards was Kevin Biggs, who has one interception tonight already. But the incompletion stops the clock with a minute 42.
This is the offense that Benton has practiced a lot, but hasn't really used in game situations against other teams. They've scrimmaged with it, and at this point they're backed up so far on their own end that they can't really do a lot of risky things with this run and shoot, but they are trying to move the ball through the air now. 3rd down and 15. Jamie Jones, the lone setback. Yoakum in motion back to the far side. Coming to the near side is Brad Collett. He'll be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage at about the 14-yard line. Loss of about a yard on the play, as it was Isaac Davis that got to him first for the Leopards. That's how they tried to run the option out of it and come and surprise Malvern, but Davis was right there to make the play.
Now Goheen will have to kick into a very stiff wind. Check the signs in the end zone down there.
Boy, it has them rolling.
It'll be a very stiff wind that Jake Goheen will have to kick into. Back deep for the Leopards will be Michael Langley. He'll await the kick in Benton territory at the 40-yard line. Goheen stands in his end zone about a yard deep. Here's the kick. It is not a good kick. The wind catches it, holds it up. It drops at about the 25, takes a Leopard bounce, and rolls out of bounds near the 22-yard line.
Early on this season, Coach Whitefight had some concern about his kicking game, the punting game, trying out the inconsistency of the punts. He had Brian Holter and Jake Goheen punting a lot. They worked on it a lot in this last week, and so far it's kind of been a problem. That one there, a 10-yard punt. Of course, the wind had something to do with it, but that's 2 punts of less than 20 yards, and now Malvern's in a great shape to really put the game away.
1st and 10 at the Benton 22-yard line. Brashears has them set with a stiff wind at his back now. Handoff goes to the fullback. Gage, 15. Gage knocked down inside the 10 as he's down near the 5-yard line. Jake Goheen finally got him as Donnie Gage, the ball carrier, as he burst through the middle, and he's down near the 5-yard line. Let's see where they'll spot it. It'll be outside the 5, call it the 6. 1st and goal for the Leopards at the Benton 6-yard line.
First carry, I believe.
I thought it was for Donald Gage. He's been used mainly as a blocking back tonight for Jimerson. 1st and goal from the 6. Here's Brashears, flag down. Brashears cuts it back inside on the keeper play. He's inside the 5. It gets down to the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. But there is a flag down on the play as that wind continues to get even stronger. Clock is stopped at 31 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Roger Barker in on the play defensively for Benton on the previous play. Flag is still down on the field as the officials talk things over with the Benton defensive captains, and the call will go against the Leopards. Motion penalty against Malvern will set the ball back outside the 10. At about the inside the 12-yard line, it'll be 1st and goal from just inside the 12 for the Leopards. 27 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Wide right this time for the Leopards goes Benson Bradford. Also a man in the slot. I formation behind Brashears. He wants to throw on this 1st down play. Rolls right, gets pressure. He's going to be sacked. Ball is loose over on the sideline, and I don't believe Benton could control it before it went out of bounds, Rob.
Let's see. Yeah,
they said they did.
I don't know who picked
over
it
on the far side. I know Greg Mundy was close over there. I'm not sure if Greg got it over on the far side, but the Benton Panthers do have it. Heath Nix, my spotter, says, Rob. But nevertheless, the Panthers did come up with a big fumble recovery. That could be big with 9 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Ball will be spotted at the 11-yard line of the Panthers. As now they're fighting the wind for another 9 seconds and the clock for another 12 minutes and 9 seconds. So they'll be aided by the wind in the next quarter if it keeps up, and it seems to be getting stronger all the time. Again, they come out of the bone as Brad Collett sets his offense at the line of scrimmage, his own 11-yard line. Man in motion. Collett, quick pass. Caught by Goheen. Goheen breaks the tackle, knocked out the 24-yard line. Ball is loose, knocked all the way back to the 10.
That was a crazy play.
Boy, I tell you what, the Panthers lucky to come up with that one.
There's somebody down on the play, and whoever recovered the fumble, it may be Brad Collett.
Haven't spotted his number yet.
What happened there's a flag on the play, and the reason for the flag is going to be a roughness, a late hit on the play. When the fumble was recovered by Collett, he was speared, and they're going to end up picking up 15 yards. The fumble had knocked the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well,
so it's a pass play for no yardage, but a 15-yard penalty, and the Panthers will have the ball first down at about the 25-yard line when the fourth quarter starts.
That's the end of the third quarter with a score. Malvern 27, Benton 12. Panther football will continue in a moment. Along with Rob Patrick, as we enter the final quarter, Panthers have it first and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Collett's okay. He was shaking up on that play, but he's okay. It's still in there. Lone setback behind Collett. Man in motion to the right side is Rogers. Collett wants to throw. Rolls back toward the middle. Throws down the middle. Almost picked off. Pass intended for...
It's like Rogers on the receiving
end there. Intended receiver. And the ball was almost picked off once again as Mark Traylor defensively for the Leopards.
They were just a little bit late on the timing there. Rogers broke into the seam, and he broke in the clear, and then Collett let go of the throw, and it was just a little late. If it had been there a little bit sooner, they'd have had a completion there, because the defense closed just to see he was letting go of the ball.
Second down and 10 for the Panthers. Their own 26-yard line. This time going wide to the right for the Panthers is Rick Daniel. Jamie Jones will be the lone setback behind Collett. And Rogers is motion, and he's taking too much time. Panther offense taking too much time, and that'll cost them 5. We'll bring up a second down and 15 now, as the official will mark the ball back to the 21-yard line. Second down and 15 for the Panthers, their own 21. Trailing in this game 27-12 after leading at one point. Midway in the second quarter, 12-zip.
I'm sure that Coach Dwight Fite didn't want to put in the run and shoot to try and catch up, but that looks like that's how they're going to be using it, and it may be a blessing if they can move the ball now.
Out of necessity now. Again, Rogers in motion back to the far side. Here's Collett rolling right, wants to throw, looking, gets hit as he throws, and ball is dropped down the middle as Collett was really hit hard.
Malvern doing a good job of coverage on he had to check off his first and second receivers, found a third one, but by that time they'd closed on him, and he wasn't able to get it away cleanly.
Mike Cantrell really laid the wood that time to Brad Collett. It'll be third down and 15. Panthers with the ball at their own 21-yard line. They are aided by a very stiff wind that picked up late in the third quarter.
Malvern's defense, really, to put it in perspective here for the rest of the season, this may be one of the best defenses that Benton will face all season. They are seasoned and big and quick, and
here's Collett rolling right, still looking, being pressured, rolls right, gets a pass away, screen pass is caught by, I believe, Rick Daniel up over the 20-yard line and down at the 23-yard line.
Roger Barker on the receiving end coming out of the backfield. So right, they just brought him in for that play and made a nice one-handed catch, but Isaac Davis, or I'm not sure if it was Isaac or not, but one of the Malvern defenders really sliced in there and broke it up.
So Goheen will be forced to punt. That brings up fourth down, 11:19 left to play. This time Goheen will have the wind. That is not Goheen in there this time. Brian Holter will try the punt this time.
He'll have the advantage of the wind.
Line of scrimmage, the Benton 22. Back deep, Langley. Here's the kick by Holter. It's a high kick, short kick, fair catch call for, and made at the 47.
And a penalty.
And the flag that goes down.
He called for the fair catch, and Dean Bird went ahead and made the tackle. He didn't see it, and that's going to be a penalty.
That'll tack on another 15 yards and give Malvern again a great field position. And moving into the wind, they'll take that anytime. Dean Bird evidently didn't see the fair catch signal made by Langley. Hit him after the catch was made, so the catch made at about the Malvern 43-yard line. Walk off another 15. That'll put it in Benton territory. 10:58 left to play in the ball game. Panthers here in the fourth quarter moving from right to left.
Coach Dwight Fight talking to the referee about that, saying that he didn't wave, didn't give him a good signal, and was a little unfair.
It was a brief one. I think if you check the replay on it, it will be a brief wave that he made. First and 10 Leopards. The ball is at the Benton 39-yard line. Brashears dropped the ball, as we may have a new quarterback in there, Rob. And we'll check as again Pyle, as the quarterback had trouble getting the snap, and it looked like a pretty clean jersey in there at quarterback.
You can really feel the wind on the breeze now.
It's Doug Alfie in there now for the Leopards, as the breeze really kicking up.
I'm sorry, you can really feel the wind on the breeze. You can feel the rain on the wind is what I was trying to say.
It'll be second down and 11 this time for the Leopards at their Benton 40-yard line. Pitch goes to Jimerson. Jimerson cuts it back against the grain, back inside. It's inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And again, number 36, Greg Mundy, in on the play for the Panthers. It'll be third down and long for the Leopards. Third down, Leopards still looking at about 11 yards needed for the first and 10. Ball is spotted at the 39-yard line of Benton. Third down and long, under 10 minutes left to play in the game. High formation behind Alfie. Here's Alfie, dropping straight back, little play action. Now he rolls right. He's going to be hit, drop for a big loss by Heath Nix. Back at the 46-yard line of Malvern as Heath Nix got to him.
That's the kind of play that Benton needed. A big play by Heath Nix there to drop him back deep, and now a long fourth down, and they'll force a punt.
So fourth down coming up for the Leopards after the big loss on the sack by Heath Nix, as Rick Daniel and Goheen will drop back to await the punt. As in to handle the punt for the Leopards is Brashears, the starting quarterback. He's been relieved by Doug Alfie on the last series. Here's the snap to Brashears. The kick against the wind, and he gets it up in the wind.
Well, that shows you how stiff that wind is.
Stiff, about 10 yards maybe, huh? Takes a Leopard bounce again, though. Inside the Benton 40, rolls down near the 35. Will be down. You can see the wind catch that ball.
It's kind of the way the game's gone. I tell you, Benton punts against the wind. The ball bounces backward towards them. They go for a 10-yard punt. Malvern gets a kick against the wind. It goes about 10 yards and then bounces for another 10 down the field towards Benton's goal line. So
the wrong way as far as the Panthers are concerned. First and 10 at the Panther 36-yard line. Goheen will be in the ball game, but wide receiver. He'll go to the right side. Rick Daniel checks out. Goheen wide right. This time they break the wishbone again as Collett has his offense at the line of scrimmage. Here's Collett. Little trap play. Handoff goes to Rogers. Rogers 35. Spins his way over the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Goes Greg Rogers. Tackle made by Gilmore and Purifoy at the 42-yard line. But a pretty good pickup on the play that time by Greg Rogers. It'll be second down and 5 after a 5-yard pickup by Greg. Rick Daniel comes wide to the left. Panthers come up back in the wishbone. Collett will set them at the 42-yard line. Here's Collett. Fake up the middle. Pass over the middle is going to be, look like it might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Mike Cantrell got a hand on that.
Ball's incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 8:02 left to play in the game. Panthers down 27-12. It was 14-12 at halftime as two very quick back-to-back scores by the Leopards with the extra points tacked on. They've scored 2 more in the second half. Third down and 5. Panthers at their own 42-yard line. Wishbone behind Collett. Collett, quick pass to Goheen. He has it at the 50. Jake's going to jump and be knocked down at about the 47-yard line. As the play made by Kevin Biggs in the secondary for Malvern. First and 10, Benton. As Benton now fighting not only the Leopards, but the clock. First and 10 at the 47.5-yard line. The Panthers quickly up to the line of scrimmage in the wishbone. Collett sets them. Has the snap, fake up the middle, drops straight back. Wants to throw. Down the middle, it's going to be incomplete. Pass intended for Drew Yoakum down around the 33-yard line. As covering on the play again was Kevin Biggs for Malvern. Incompletion will stop the clock at 7:42 left to play. Second down and 10.
As dominant as Benton was in the first part of most of the first half, Malvern has been just as dominant here in the second half. That's just the second first down, that play before that last one, that Benton's had in this second half.
Panthers looking at a second and 10. Danny Cochran wide left. Sophomore in the ball game. Here's Collett. Play action, rolls left, looks deep down the field, throws with the wind, wide open. Down at the 1-yard line goes Danny Cochran.
The sophomore got behind him and nicely thrown up there. He almost did a 360 trying to get underneath it, and a good job by the sophomore Danny Cochran.
And he wanted that end zone so badly, but it just couldn't quite keep his balance and falls at about the 1-yard line. First and goal for the Panthers, 7:34 left to play.
Well, this offense has the potential to be explosive, and that just showed it right there. And, of course, you can't count the Panthers out at all. If they can score 2 points here, that makes it a 6-point game.
First and goal at the 1 as Collett sets them in the wishbone. Here's Collett, spins, and nothing doing at the line of scrimmage. Loss in the play as Jones took the handoff from Collett, and he might have lost a yard possibly on that one.
I guess I was a little presumptuous there saying that a 2-pointer, they need to score the 6 first.
Got to get in that end zone first. Second down and goal. Loss of close to a yard on the play. As in on the play defensively was Kevin Biggs, who's had a good game for the Leopards on defense. Second and goal, wishbone. Here's Collett, rolls right, pitch to Jones. He can't handle the pitch, ball is on the ground. Jones dives for it, the Leopards dive for it. No indication yet.
Vincent Bradford on it, Jones on it. Which one picked it up?
Jones made a dive for it. Panthers got it as Jones just barely beat Bradford to the ball on that one. But another loss on the play. That'll set it back outside the 5 at about the 8-yard line.
Panthers haven't had much luck with that option. That was a pitch again. The second time they've had a pit problem with the pitch.
Third and goal from the 8 as Collett sets him in the wishbone. Here's Collett, spins, rolls left, wants to throw a big chase, caught from behind, gets the pass away, incomplete. Panthers wanting an interference call on that one as it was intended for Greg Rogers, and he was really hit about the time the ball got there. Very close, but no flags. That'll bring up fourth down. Bert Wilson on the coverage defensively for the Leopards. So now it's fourth down.
Panthers
go.
Panthers had 3 big fourth down plays that they went for, and we got rain now, by the way. 3 big fourth downs that they could not convert in the first half. This one they need real bad.
Rain is beginning to fall with 6:11 left to play. Fourth down. Collett throws for the end zone. Dick Daniel makes the catch in the end zone. His flag goes down.
Daniel showed great patience on that play. There wasn't interference on the play. I think that's what the call is. But he stayed down. He didn't jump up, and he got under the ball and made a good catch, whereas the defender kind of overreacted a little too soon. And it was pass interference. They declined the penalty, and we got a touchdown for Benton.
Collett just looped that ball up there. Daniel standing there waiting on it. It's now 27-18 with a point after to come.
A big play there.
Big 2-point conversion coming up. Touchdown Panthers. They'll go for 2 now out of the wishbone. Raining harder at C.W. Lewis Stadium. Here's Collett. He'll throw for the 2-point conversion. Rolls right. Being chased. Being caught. Being dropped from behind. Timeout on the field. 6:08 left to play. With the score, Malvern 27, Benton 18. Panther football will continue in a moment. Back at a rainy C.W. Lewis Stadium, Panthers trying to crawl and fight their way back into this ball game. It's now 27-18, rain and wind, with 6:08 left to play.
The wind is behind Benton, and Kaufman has been kicking the ball pretty well. He may put this one in the end zone. That 2-point conversion, you can't emphasize too much how important that was. That would have put them within a touchdown. Now they need to score twice to win this game.
Here's the kick, and with the wind aiding it into the end zone and out of the end zone for the touchback, Malvern will take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line, leading 27-18.
There is time enough to do that, but the Benton defense is really going to have to stop Malvern at this point, stop them cold, and preserve as much time as they can for the offense to get back, get the ball back, get it back in the end zone. But we saw how quickly this run and shoot offense can work when that big pass from Kala to Kako put him down on the 1-yard line and got him in touchdown position. It's right now the task is the defenses.
It is Brashears back in there at quarterback. Alfie had played the last series of downs for the Leopards, but it's Brashears back in there. Rain getting harder and harder. Brashears hand off to the first man through, the fullback, Gage, and Gage is over the 20 to about the 22-yard line before he's knocked down by Roger Barker. One thing the Panthers have in their favor, Rob, should it come down to a kick late, is the wind. But working against them is the rain.
But that could work for them again if it can cause a slippery ball that Malvern back might drop or something.
Henderson comes out wide to the right for the Leopards. He'll be picked over there, picked up in the secondary by Jamie Jones defensively. High formation behind Brashears. Brashears handoff. Jimerson wrapped up in the line, behind the line of scrimmage.
Big play by Dean Bird.
Bird in there for the Panthers to rack him up behind the line of scrimmage inside the 20, back at about the 18. Dean Bird, 5'11", 185-pounder. If you look at the size of those raindrops and how hard that wind is blowing, Rob. 5:07 left to play in the ball game. It's 27-18. Malvern in front. There's some brave souls still in the stands down there. High formation as Brashears sets them on this third down play and 1. 3rd and 1. Brashears handoff. Jimerson hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. I'm not sure that he got back to the line of scrimmage.
That was the submarining in there was Mundy, and helping out was Heath Nix there. So a big defensive stand. They knew that Malvern was not going to put it in the air, especially under these conditions. They really stuffed the line of scrimmage. Now Malvern has to punt against the wind into this rain. The key will be for the Benton receivers to handle the football. It might be that they just want to let it roll, because handling a punt in this rain, looking up into these big raindrops, may be too much of a risk.
Brashears will kick it away. Benton should get good field position. They blocked the kick. The kick is blocked. It's inside the 5. It's picked up. Touchdown, Panthers.
Dean Bird picked it up.
Got it. The kick was blocked. Dean Bird picked it up at about the 2 and ran it in with 4:09 left to play. It's a 27-24 ball game.
That's the kind of thing that, you know, out of the blue, they turn the game around and they're right back in it. 4:09 is plenty of time if they can do another defensive job like they just did. Pick up 2 points here.
And the conditions are in their favor, Rob.
They really are, because they didn't really have to even go to their offense and handle the ball. They made the block punt, and that was just a big, big play.
Panthers will go for 2.
Or will they?
Well,
it looks like they're lined up for the extra point.
They're not sure exactly what they're going to do. Goheen is back there by himself.
Heath Nix is putting on his kicking shoe.
He's still on the sideline. He's coming in.
I don't know. I think Benton may have had to use a timeout.
I'm sure they must have. I didn't see the indication, but they've taken an awful lot of time.
Boy, these are big drops falling down out here.
Boy, they are big. So Goheen will hold for Heath Nix.
They used too much time. They should have called a timeout. I guess they didn't. So this is going to be even tougher to make this extra point.
A 5-yard difference as they'll walk it off. The spot will be made at about the 16-yard line, it looks like, Rob. So a 26-yard attempt coming up in very adverse weather conditions. Boy, it is raining hard.
So I tell you, the real key here is that the fact that the extra point or the 2-point, either way, it doesn't matter. They'll be within a field goal of winning the game. They need one or the other, though, because it's a 3-point difference now, and a field goal would only tie the game at this point.
Call it a 25-yard attempt on the field goal. Spot made it about the 15. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 4:09 left to play. It's Malvern 27, Benton 25. Panther football will continue in a moment. Left to play.
It's almost like the rain has given the Panthers a reprieve.
The ball either blew off the tee or did he lose his footing?
The ball blew off the tee. It's a stiff wind. It did blow off the tee as he was approaching it, so he'll tee it back up, give it another shot. It's like when the rains came, Benton got a new life, and They're really in this game now. Malvern's the team now that's going to have to handle this wet football. They're all going to be wet because all the footballs they're using are going to be wet because it is just a torrential downfall.
Well, maybe these Panthers are like racehorses. They're mudders. So now the ball will be held on the tee. 4 minutes, 9 seconds left to play. Panthers trail by 2. Here's the kick. It is a low driving kick. Will come down at about the 5. Ball is fumbled. The ball is on the ground. Picked up by Malvern at the 15. One of the upbacks has it. Over the 15 to the 17. And again, a big scramble. Again, I believe a fumble, Rob. There was a big scramble for the football.
It's going to be very difficult.
Play.
It's going to be very difficult to hang on to this football. And Malvern, the onus is on them to handle it. And you know that the Benton's going to be playing in tight, playing it against the run. Malvern will really... Do they dare throw under these conditions? They may just have to cover the ball and try to get a punt away.
Ball is spotted inside the Leopard 20 at the 18. It'll be 1st and 10. Brashears will send Henderson out wide to the right. Ball squarely in the middle of the field. Backs in the eye behind Brashears. Brashears spins to Jimerson.
They're not even going to risk handing it off.
The football. Fake to Jimerson. Kept the football. He's stacked up at about the line of scrimmage and pushed back.
The rain lightning a little bit, but it's still coming down good.
And on the play, Greg Mundy getting up off the bottom of the file. Clock running. 3:25 left to play in the game. Benton trails by 2, 27-25. Parker and Bird also there with Mundy on the tackle. It is 2nd down and 12, a loss of 2 on the previous play.
They didn't even.
Now the Panthers are fighting and we're off the air. I formation.
They did hand it off that time anyway.
Yeah. So it'll be 2nd down and 12 is what it was. A flag down on the play.
Gage picked up a couple of yards on that play. They did risk the handoff at least on that one, but
clock is stopped at 3:03 left to play in the ball game. Flags down on the play, and the call against the Leopards will be declined by the Panthers. They don't want to give them too many plays.
3rd down and 10 long yardage, and they don't want to.
3rd down and long. The ball is shy of the 20-yard line of the Leopards. 2:57 left to play in the ball game. Leopards huddle it up deep in their own territory. Up they come to the line of scrimmage. Brashears at quarterback has his backs in the eye. It is 3rd down. Big play for the Panther defense. Hand off to Gage, the fullback. He'll find his way over the 20 to about the 22 before Roger Barker, one of the maroon jersey Panthers, there to get him. And the Panthers will get the ball back at least one more time, Rob.
They call a timeout here to preserve some of that time. 2:31 left. Big lightning flash off in the distance. The rain has lightened up now, and just in time for the Benton Panthers to get the ball back.
2 minutes, 31 seconds left to play as the Panthers have taken a timeout. As Collett will get last-minute instructions and check into the ball game for the Panthers as he is ready on the sideline as soon as the Panthers get this ball back. Gage's run netted the Leopards' offense out to about their 28-yard line. 2 minutes, 31 seconds left to play. The Panthers were down 27-12. They have fought back to make it 27-25.
Now the key is, will the Panthers go for the block again? Will the deep men, Goheen and Daniel, be able to handle the kick if they get it away? It's still raining.
Daniel and Goheen will wait for the kick at about their 50-yard line. Brashears will kick for the Leopards. He'll stand inside his 10. Pretty big rush. He gets the kick away. Not a particularly good kick. It'll bounce up the 45-yard line. Panthers stay away from it. Leopards let it roll. And it's down at the Leopard 46.5-yard line where the Panthers take over with 2:23 left to play in the ball game.
Now it's on the Panthers to handle the ball well and to make the big plays. They need to at least get into field goal range. Where that is for Heath Nix, we don't know, but you figure it's got to be at least we're at the 46. You got to pick up at least 20 yards.
2 minutes and 23 seconds left to play as Collett brings them up in the wishbone. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Leopards. Collett fakes up the middle. Hand to Jones. Jones right side. Breaks a couple of tackles. He's down to near the 41-yard line before he's pushed back by the Leopard defense. So he picks up about a couple or 3 tough yards. for William Burks made the tackle for the Leopards. It'll be second down. A pickup of close to 5, actually, that time for Jamie. Call it second down. They still need about 5 for the 1st and 10. Out of the wishbone. Collett calls. Handoff goes to the first man through from right halfback. Inside the 40.
Roger Barker in there.
So Barker on the carries inside the 40 to about the 39. Will bring up a third down, and again we'll have a timeout on the field with a minute 40 left to play. With the score, Malvern 27 and Benton 25. Panther football will continue in a moment. On a third down play for the Panthers, Collett wants to throw, looks, get the pass away. It's going to be, it falls incomplete at the 22-yard line as Jake Goheen stretched his body out, tried to haul it in, but could not do it. It falls incomplete, covered by Jason Purifoy. That'll stop the clock, Rob, with a minute 38 left to play. It's 4th down.
Collett did a good job getting that ball away. He adjusted the throw to the defense. Goheen was covered inside. Goheen adjusted a little bit later than Collett did, almost caught up with it, but not quite. Now this is the game right here, 4th down.
Panthers have to go for it on 4th down and 3 just inside the 40. Here's Collett rolling left, wants to throw, get the pass away. It's going to be incomplete, intended for Rick Daniel down the middle. Falls incomplete at about the 20-yard line. That'll stop the clock with a minute 32. Line with a minute 32 left to play. I formation as Brashears continues at quarterback. He'll simply take the snap and fall down with it. Back behind
Ben
the line
will use its last time out here.
Brashears just took the ball and fell with it. As both the rain and the wind just about let up, Ron, as this game is coming to a close. Brashears at the line of scrimmage. Looked like some movement by the Benton defense as Brashears tried to do a little sneak that time from quarterback. He got it to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line.
And now the Panthers cannot stop the clock. It'll just keep rolling.
Down to a minute 10 as it ticks away. Brian Holter in on the play defensively for the Panthers on that last play. As we hit the 1-minute mark, Leopards certainly in no hurry to get another play off.
It's a big win for Malvern here tonight, winning this game. A big rivalry. They've been on the short end of the stick for quite a while, and they've done a good job. Their defense made the big plays when they had to have them. Both teams played very well and just had their lapses at times.
Brashears will just take the ball and fall down with it with 40 seconds left to play. But that's 4th down coming up. Panthers might get one last shot, Rob, as we hit the 30-second mark.
Well, they will have to make
the 18 seconds showing on the time clock.
They'll wait and they'll let the clock run all the way down. There'll be about 8 or 9 seconds left and then they'll have to punt.
So the clock will tick down. That's the 0. That'll be a delay of game call against the Leopards. That'll stop the game clock with 9 seconds left to play in the game. And 4th down coming up. Panthers trail by 2, 27-25 in their opening game of the 1989 season. It'll be Goheen back deep to await the kick if they kick. With only 9 seconds, I'm not sure they will. What about you, Rob?
I don't know. They can't run it out of the back of the end zone. That would tie the
Obviously.
game. It's a 2-point difference, but they could take the ball and run around back there if they can run off 9 seconds. It's a little dangerous because if he does that, the clock would stop and Benton would be in field goal range, perhaps.
Well, we shall see. 9 seconds showing as
I don't know what's they're actually putting the Benton offense onto the field at this point. I don't know what with 4th down, it may be that they're going to just try and.
They want them on the field in case they get a shot at it.
They want to have them on the field,
right.
But Malvern's going to run a play here, and if they don't use up all the time, then Benton will have their offense on the field, get right in position, and try to run a play.
9 seconds left as Brashears sets them. He'll take the snap. We'll see what he does with it. He's going to do something. He rolls left to eat up some clock. at the 35, still on his feet up near the 40. 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
They've got 3 seconds left.
They stopped it at 3 seconds.
Benton will line right up and try to run the big bend play.
So 1 shot for the Panthers, 3 seconds left on the play. This Jay Guatney playing a little defense that time for the Panthers. 3 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Benton with their offense in there will get 1 shot at it, trailing by 2.
Now, was there a flag? Somebody said there was a flag on the play. I don't know what that was. There is, and they're talking to
Malvern.
The Malvern captains. If they take the penalty, they get an, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't want to.
Let's see where that penalty came, when it came. Goheen is coming out wide to the left. Panthers will have the ball.
If it's not enough to give them a first down and they take the penalty, then Benton would get the ball anyway.
Benton has the ball.
So they're going to decline it.
With 3 seconds left, it'll be spotted just outside the 40. They'll mark off the penalty.
If it gives them a first down,
that
though.
Gives them a first, let's see where they spot the ball.
It's going to be close. No.
It's going to be shy. It'll be about a yard shy. So Benton still gets that shot with 3 seconds left.
Still don't know what the penalty was.
No indication by the official. Collett has him at the line of scrimmage. 3 seconds left, and this is it for the Panthers.
It may have been an illegal substitution or too many men on the well.
Now the official is stopping the game again, and Malvern is indicating happiness.
It gives them a first.
Malvern is
saying it gives them a first down, or they get another play with the penalty.
Evidently, they're getting another play. We have to get no indication.
Get fourth down over.
Official. Evidently, they're getting 4th down over, and that's it.
Yeah, a 15-yard penalty on the play would put the ball. They had 4th and 16. A 15-yard penalty would make it 4th and 1, and they'd run another offensive play, and they'll run out the clock.
That's right. That'll do it. The Panthers won't get that last shot that we had anticipated along with them. As the final 3 seconds tick off the scoreboard clock, that's the end of the game with the final score. The Malvern Leopards 27, the Benton Panthers 25. Back with post-game activities right after these messages. Larry Hart back with Rob Patrick at C.W. Lewis Stadium. And, Rob, I feel like we've witnessed about 3 different ball games tonight.
It really was. It went in stages. Benton owned the first part of the first half. Then Malvern came back and took the lead and seemed to be on the way to breaking the game open. Benton rallied again and cut it to 2, but never could get it back over the hump. And 27-25 was the final. A lot of big plays in the passing game for both teams. Malvern ended up with the better of it. And the defense, really, I think Coach Fye will be concerned about the defense because he felt like that was a strong point for the team, and they're going to have to go back to the drawing board or back and work hard on their pass coverage, I think.
This really was a game of really just big plays is all it was.
It really was. Very explosive. There were moments of great defense, but the passing game for both teams really was impressive.
But what about next week? What do you look
next week? Well, it'll be hard to say how that will come out. Benton needs to regroup, and they'll have a tough task ahead of them. I don't know much about Arkadelphia this year. We'll see how they did. They were playing another 4A team tonight, and we'll see how they fared against another 4A South team. I think they were playing El Dorado tonight, and El Dorado and Benton were 2 of the teams that were supposed to.
But there's always one place that does a little bit better job of fixing your car. And it seems the things they all have in common are great mechanics, great service, and Napa parts.
See Dubs Auto Service, your Napa Auto Service Center. For more than 25 years, Dubs Auto...
No matter what you need in outdoor equipment, whether it's farm equipment, lawn tractors and mowers, or light construction equipment, you can buy it or probably rent it at Sunbelt. Dedicated to providing professional, courteous sales, parts, and service, Sunbelt Equipment on I-30, next to Jones Buick.
For the easy access of a convenience store with a variety of low prices of a full-service grocery, stop at Bullock's Market on I...
Come here. What's got into those pigs?
Your son, sir.
Fighting over some wench, I'll wager. Do I know her? Huh?
Oh,
In the barn, eh?
I was looking for eggs, sir.
Find any?
No, sir.
Shall you and I go and have another look?
Samuel? Samuel! What are you after?
A bird, my dear. After a bird. Ah! Silly old cow.
Oh, my poor dear.